Good day, my great forex trader. I welcome you guys back again on this my lost $13 challenge. As you can see here, they have totally lost the account, and this is the warning my broker gave me when the trade was retracing. Okay, and looking at my initial strategy, you will see that the market also obeys my strategy. You see, currently now the market is now moving up. As you can see, even my place that my initial take profit, that is TP1, has been smashed, and now it's heading to my TP2. But quite unfortunate, I've lost the accounts, okay, and I've learned my mistakes. Yes, I learned a lot of things in this trade, okay, and I'm going to give you guys my observation on these two trade, Australia USD and Euro USD. My first observation is, let me go back to Australia USD. Now looking at this Australia USD, this strategy, if you have been following me in this channel, you know my strategy. I wait for what's the breakout of structure or change of character. And for me to map out my word change of character, first of all, I need to find the zone that swept liquidity. Now, if you are looking at this zone now is a major zone. And if you look from here down to this place, is a down trade. And there is no lower height here that swept liquidity. If you look from here down to this place, no lower height that swept what liquidity, except this lower height here. It swept these two lower height here. So it swept liquidity. So now I map it with what? With trade line as my what? My major zone. Then what happened? Market come and still continue giving me the structure of what? Downtrend. And that is the reason why I identify it with trade line. So I wait patiently for market to come and do what? And break that height. Okay. In future time, price obeys my what? My strategy by doing what? Breaking the trend line. Now I use my Fibonacci retracement. Okay, I use Fibonacci retracements. Let me go and Fibonacci retracement. Okay, now to identify my discount zone, and this is my what? Discount what? Zone. Now I start looking out the fix zone within the word discount zone, the fix zone within the word discount zone. Now, and if you check, the first discount zone is here. Okay, now I place my order here, and below should be what? Here should be what? My stop loss, while my entry should be here. So, and that is my strategy. Okay, that is my initial strategy. I used to trade both gold and what? Australia. Okay, so but I do not execute this trade. The reason is because it was my exam period. I was writing exam, and based on my principle, doing exams, no trade. Okay, then after that, I did not execute this trade. It was here that I came back in 4 hours time frame, and I observed the same my strategy. Okay, and you see this height now, market is giving me higher highs, higher low, higher height. Now, and the market now give me what? Higher low. Now, if you see this low now here, this low now swept this liquidity. Okay, it has taken this liquidity. So, and I map this as my what? As my major low, showing that there is no market price cannot go below this low based on my strategy. Now I wait patiently for the price to take out this previous height, and which market did. So I said, okay, now fine, since market has break up this height to continue what bullish pattern, that this low now becomes the what the major low. So I wait patiently for market to come back to this zone. So the moment market came back to this zone, during that period I was not writing exams, so and I see it as another opportunity for me to enter the trade. Initially, even when I spot out this one during my exam period, I my TP was also the same the level. So and I look at it, I say, wow, this will also give me a nice profit. Then I make an entry here and I put my stop loss a little more space below this zone, and I target my what my initial TP, and the price obeyed what my strategy. And if you see how speed the price move, okay, and hit what and hit my TP. Now you see that this strategy for the two times it plays out well. Now I also implement the same strategy in Euro USD. Now in Euro USD, I wait for the market, I map out this zone in a higher time frame, waiting for market to do what? To pull back. Because if you do top down analysis starting from what 4 hours time frame, you will see that this is a pure down trade, okay, in a higher time frame. So I'm waiting for a pullback. In a pullback in a higher time frame is a trend in a smaller time frame. So I'm kind of waiting for a pullback. Now I implement the same method here, and as market is creating a series of what higher low, as market is creating a series from here, is showing me lower height, lower low, lower height, lower low, lower height, and what lower low. So I'm kind of looking out for expecting price market to change direction here. Now I begin to see a market start giving me a series of what higher height and higher lows, higher height and higher lows. So I said, okay, now this is the right time for me to do what? To jump in the trade. Okay, it's better for you to enter in appropriate time. So I was expecting to use my initial pattern. Now here, markets, I was kind of looking out market to sweep liquidity. And if you check here, markets do what? Sweep this to liquidity here. So I map out this low as my major low. And what happened? Market create another height, come back again, but it did not take out this height again, but come back and sweep another what liquidity, this one and this one. Then I map out this one as my major low. Now the price go up all the way up here and take out this height. Now I map out this low, I place my entry order here, and I put my stop loss below here, not here. Why? Because if you look very well, let me zoom this thing out. If you look very well, you will see that this low here sweep this low here. It takes liquidity. So I'm assuming that since market has swept out this one has become what? A major low. Then I put my entry here, my stop loss here. And what happened? Market come and do what? And take me out. And after that, I notice a small change of character here. To my own opinion, I call it change of character because this is the low, this is the high that created this low. And what happened? Price came and do what? And take out this high that created the low. So I was thinking, oh wow, sounds like the price now is is trying to, this zone now is trying to hold the price so that the price will start going up. So I make another entry again. I use this place, I place my entry here, and I put my stop loss not here, but this time around I say, okay, now let me use this low here that hold this price here as my stop loss, which I did. And what happened? Market came and take me out. Okay, it was that time that I was having I think $2 in my account. Then after that, and I make another entry. It was weekend here. I make an entry during the last week weekend. I make an entry here, and what happened? Market go up, come down again, and start moving to my direction. But because of the broker I'm using and my privilege, my equity is not much to carry the what, to carry the pullback, then I lost the account finally, and the market still is now moving towards my direction of my initial what, TP. That is it for now. See you guys in my next video on my second observation.